like to focus on page 399, where Chiong says this. As Bernat notes, we both accept the whole brain criterion of death. We also believe that death should be understood as a biological event, and we both maintain, in my case with some ambivalence, that the determination that someone has died should precede procurement of vital organs for transplantation in situations like donation after cardiac death. One way, then, to interpret my view, he says, is as an attempt to find a firmer foundation and a deeper theoretical understanding for commitments that we both share. So I'd like to take a quick note to briefly comment on the sentence immediately before the one just highlighted. One of the things really driving this conversation and its enduring relevance is the dead donor rule in organ transplantation. That rule says roughly that a donor of vital organs must be dead before you remove her organs from her. And the removal of organs from her must not be the cause of her death. Now, if we relaxed or abandoned that rule, that dead donor rule, much of the debate about the definition of death would be changed, because then it would not be so necessary to ask, is this person really and truly dead, before we took her organs? Of course, many people recognize that relaxing or abandoning the dead donor rule has its own costs. And nobody is suggesting, by the way, that we abandon the dead donor rule just to make life easier for philosophers. One of the complaints that is sometimes made in these debates, as some of you may know, is that certain definitions of death, either historically or in contemporary settings, are merely gerrymandered attempts to define death in ways that allow us to continue to harvest vital organs from donors while still technically tiptoeing around the dead donor rule. I'm not going to wade into the historical or contemporary arguments for that position here, but I think it's true that both Bernat and Chiong are wanting to think hard and carefully about the definition of death, so that whatever definition we eventually arrive at is philosophically most acceptable, not merely something that is a useful fiction for keeping the organ donations moving.